It is Thursday, August 18, 2016. We're pleased to bring you today's edition of the Government News Brief. Welcome. In the news, mining sector to be given greater oversight by government. Ministry of Public Health implements monitoring system to avoid drug shortages in health institutions. And the work of teachers and parents credited for the successes at CAPE. Stay tuned as we bring you the details of these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan, and here now are the details. The government plans to have permanent representation at large-scale mining operations towards providing greater oversight in the mining sector. Details in this report.
This measure is geared towards providing better monitoring at mining sites and learning opportunities to improve the sector. Minister Raphael Trotman told the Chief Executive Officer of Troy Resources, Ken Nielsen.
The government is planning, planning on having some permanent representation on site. GGMC, sometime with EPA.
Minister Trotman and a high-level team from the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission visited Kuruni Camp in Region 7 on Monday. Minister Trotman explains that it was a routine visit to examine the progress of the mining operations.
It's just a routine visit to just check to see how mining is progressing. Government, as you know, is very keen on ensuring that there is good production, but it's production that is done safely and with respect for the workers.
Troy Resources, an Australian company, launched its Kuruni Gold project in 2014. It employs 400 persons at the site and 180 others on a contractual basis. The company is in discussions to finalize arrangements for the unionizing of the workers. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
The newly appointed Director of Youth, Melissa Carmichael, plans to tackle a major issue affecting youth development as she begins her tenure. Find out more in this report.
Unemployment among youths is Director of Youth Melissa Carmichael's main concern, and government is responsible for providing an environment where youths can flourish.
In terms of training, a lot of young people don't get where they are because they aren't properly or efficiently trained, for want of better words. So what myself and the department is looking to do is to ensure that we provide training that is aligned with what is out there in the job market.
One of the director's first steps towards providing opportunities for youths is to meet with youth organizations around the country to hear what are their issues.
Me talking to them gives me an opportunity to know the need. While I have not been able to visit all the regions yet to have forums with these young people, that is also a part of the plan. I go across the regions, I meet with young people, not just myself, but my team, where we are able to properly assess what's happening and put forward proper recommendations and proposals.
A national youth policy was in June 2016 presented in the National Assembly by the Minister within the Ministry of Education, Nicolette Henry. Carmichael says that the policy will direct her actions for the development of youths.
The youth policy will now be our guide, our Bible, in terms of youth development and youth empowerment. We will have to use the policy to put forward any plan or projection from the department for the youths. So we no longer will just be working haphazardly, but rather we'll be working with a guide.
The policy outlines a number of initiatives and training programs which will foster well-rounded individuals. Youth unemployment currently stands at 40% in Guyana and around the Caribbean. For this Government News Brief, Namila Henry Rowe.
Investigations will be made to confirm the stock of drugs at health facilities so that efficient monitoring mechanisms can be put in place to avoid shortages. Here's that story.
Minister of Public Health Dr. George Norton attributes the alleged drug shortage to the disorganized manner in which drug supply requirements are submitted to the ministry.
The CRIV, which is what the regions and they are supposed to send to MMU, are all done in a haphazard, in an inefficient manner. And many data that are supposed to be supplied are not, that is not being complied with. Besides that, we know for a fact that these persons were trained in, and They should know how to do it. It is not rocket science. I can't see why is it that if they were asked to send certain data in order to help with the filling up of these cribs, why it's not being done. And I get the impression that there's no doubt about it, that things have been left unmonitored for a very long time, and it's going to take an uphill task for us to get it in place.
Minister Norton noted that when requests for drugs are made, there is a system in place for provision of these drugs.
There's no doubt about the fact that we have changed from a system that we had before, where we had central procurement in terms of we deciding what the country needs and then sending it out to the regions. And we have changed from that, where the regions have now decided what they want, send down the list to the Ministry of Public Health. We procure for them and then send it out back to them. That has caused a lot of delay.
The investigations that will be done will hopefully avoid shortages of drugs at these health institutions.
We had a meeting with the Material Management Unit, and they're prepared to document where they have been to regions that claim that they have no such medications, and they were seeing the medications in the bond.
So they have?
They do have. That is what officials in the ministry are prepared to document.
Is it going to be monitored?
It is going, yes, it is, and not only that, but we're prepared to go on the ground and see what is taking place.
The Ministry of Public Health changed the system of sole sourcing of drugs to open competitive bidding. Earlier in the year, this new system was attributed to the cause for delay in supplies. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
The National Drainage and Irrigation Authority says sole sourcing for the rehabilitation of the Trafalgar drainage pump in Region 5 was necessary to relieve flood-fatigued residents of further hardships. Details in this Kadaki Amsterdam report.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, Frederick Flatz, says the invitation for tenders had to be annulled in the interest of time to prevent further hardships resulting from floods in Region 5.
I believe that we needed to take an immediate step and sort out the flooding. I felt that if we had gone through the long process, which we intended to go through, that's why we advertised, then there would be flooding again. And the farmers more or less felt about the flooding. Residents were highly agitated, and as we all know, on one occasion, they even blocked the traffic on the public road.
Flatz says the nullification of invitation to bid was advertised, and the NDIA has since recommended a contractor to carry out the works pegged at more than $40 million.
We immediately got someone, a contractor, who could rehabilitate the pump. The person we chose was a person who had actually set up the pump station a few years ago, and therefore we thought he was the best person to carry out any rehabilitation. So far, we've been able to get one pump working. We've been able to get the generator working.
Further, the CEO acting says, given the hardships caused by the 4 preceding floods in the Trafalgar, Tempe, and Litchfield areas, the decision to sole source has paid off due to its timeliness.
As I speak, there's been a lot of rain in Region 5 today. That is August the 16th. And I believe it's fortunate that we have that pump working, because we possibly would have gone in for another period of flooding.
Other works identified to be carried out by the NDIA include fixing the control room and installation of a perimeter fence and lights to prevent a repeat of vandalism to the pumps. These structures are critical to the Mahaika, Myconia, Barry, and surrounding Region 5 communities. The works are anticipated to be completed in another 3 weeks. Kidaki Amsterdam for Government News Brief.
The public education system is one that is bearing fruit due to the hard work and dedication of teachers and parents. Here is that report.
Winifred Ellis, head teacher of the Bishop's High School, says that she is elated with the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, results. Ellis points out that science subjects were only introduced into the school's curriculum for the Cape.
The science children have really shined. Masood Lewis is the top science child for CSEC. He got 12 grade 1s and a grade 2. And for Cape, the lower 6 child is also a science child. Carissa Kissoon, she got 6 1s. And for upper 6, it's another science child. Stefan Ajidi with 5 1s and a grade 2. The thing about it, Bishops has not been doing science at Cape. This is our first time we completed both the Unit 1 and Unit 2. So we're really happy with the performance. I think that we lived up to the School of Excellence.
Early preparation as part of the school's action plan by the teachers is the reason for the school excelling in biology, chemistry and physics science subjects, says head of the science department, Shelley Ann Harris.
I hold no prisoners. I demand excellence from my students. And they have risen to that challenge. And for all the hurt feelings and all the times that they have been in the doghouse with me, I think right now they are glad that they had those opportunities to be corrected and to be scolded and to be encouraged to, firmly but with love always, to strive for excellence, to do excellently.
Melanie Frank, mother of Zoya and Frank, details how she helped her daughter prepare for the Cape.
I tried to help her to maintain her discipline. Extra lessons was a must. That helped in reinforcing, in preparing her to be a better student. I said, go for it, just be positive and you will make it. Just do your best. The sky is the limit, and I think she did extremely well.
Head teacher Winifred Ellis says that preparations are already underway for students writing the examinations in May 2017. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
Those are the reports we covered in today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. We encourage you to stay updated, subscribe to our website and YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook. All government and other information can be accessed from GINA's website and Facebook page. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another edition of this, the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.